Hey, everybody, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Patrick,
And I'm Paul. How's it going?
and we're going to talk about whether or not we think we'd survive a quiet place. Shh. Yeah, no, we can't be quiet because that would ruin the YouTube video thing. There wouldn't even be anything to caption. Paul, quiet place is going to be a fun one because I think a
Yep.
quiet place is the most interesting challenge. It's can you stay quiet, but also could you live a life and build a life by being quiet? Because imagine how difficult it's even just building a structure. If you're going to live, let's say you're going to live 50 years longer than you have right now in the quiet place world,
Yeah.
using a hammer is going to be a heck of a challenge.
Yeah. A pre-existing building is going to be your friend there.
Yeah. So I'm going to say no, I wouldn't survive a quiet place. Would I survive a while? Yeah. But would I live out to the end of my days? I don't think I could. I don't think it's possible.
Now we're just taking the first movie, right?
Yeah. First movie.
Then no, I'm not going to survive. I'm going to sneeze within the first 5 minutes of the thing because we're out in the wilds, and as much as I think that I'm going to be fine, I'm going to sneeze. I have allergies. I am pollen count's going to be up. Especially with those guys running around the place. It's
Yeah.
going to be kicking up a lot of dust and stuff like that. Like, I'm going to be like,
It's the worst though, because you know me very, very well, and you know one of my weird things. Like it's not an allergy stuff. It's that any time I've ever sneezed in my entire life, I haven't sneezed once. I'm one of those people that sneezes 16 times. Like Paul has had to sit beside me while recording, and once I've had one sneeze. After a while, you got so used to it, you were like, "Yeah, you get up and go make the coffee," sort of thing.
yeah,
You go grab something because I am
I got it.
incapable of just one.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Like,
Oof.
if we could somehow have an unending amount of like antihistamines, then maybe.
Well, look,
Like,
let's say we survive sneezing. Let's say that we're able to control that.
yeah,
We know some methodologies. In the movie, it makes sense, you take off your big heavy boots. You're not going to be click clacking around the place. If you want to go and chat, you're going to go and chat by something natural that's making loads of noise to cover you, like a waterfall. Great example. So there are
yeah,
ways and means here.
yeah. There is, yeah. There's a lot of ways that you can do it. Walking in like not shoes is going to be an awful thing. I hate feet. Yeah, but I think there's methodology. So there's if they're drawn to sound, that's already a major thing that you can already play with. The fact is that okay, I need to hammer this, portrait of my family in, kind of thing. All right, what I'm gonna do is 30 miles away, I'm gonna set off some kind of explosion, and they'll all be drawn to that while I do the nail four times.
I see what you're
You
thinking.
know, kind of
Or
things.
only
You know,
do construction during lightning storms where you're timing everything with
yeah,
thunder as best you can.
yeah. Now, I don't want to also say I don't want to out myself as well because there's other bodily functions that I do not have great control over as well, which is also going to be a problem as well. Because
Oh, I'm
for
dying so quickly.
yeah, I think if a lot of men and some women out there who if they
The
were
honest
honest with
women.
themselves
The honest women.
may die under the lies of I'm gonna do this joke, it's gonna be real funny.
Yeah, everybody
Like,
poops, but everybody, if they're honest with themselves, does fart. And there is no way. Paul, I'm dying in my sleep on the first night.
but that's the thing. If you know that you definitely put yourself into a basement area that's well insulated and stuff like that. So that's fine. It's the joke where you're out walking on your sand and you're just like,
Oh. I, and you can see me going, no, I'm not pulling your finger. No. And you're
yeah,
like, go on. And eventually I'll be like, oh, it'll be worth it.
yeah.
We'll,
And then
we'll
we both
find another
die.
way to survive, and we both die. Well, I
But
just
no,
don't know if there's enough insulation in the world. I am quite the gentleman. When I'm asleep, so I'm told. So between snoring and what can be
Snoring.
called the roar of God Himself, as my flatulence ability, yeah, I think I'm probably getting us all killed.
Okay, So if we ignore the sneezing, the farting, and the snoring, like yeah, I have I have a vaguely good choice, good way. Like I'm fairly like I like quiet. Like
Mm.
I'm comfortable being alone. I'm comfortable being quiet, kind of thing. Um, I don't know if my ADHD brain would allow me to be sitting still for too long,
Mm.
but I think that doesn't automatically mean that I'm going to start playing with something that's going to be loud, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
kind of thing.
I hear you. Yeah, you're gonna have limited yourself. You're not exactly bringing a drum kit back to tempt you when you're bored.
Oh, though,
Yeah.
there's
Um.
so many things. There's, I will say this: I may survive this. I may survive essentially a quiet place because, or I might not. And I think one of the factors is I would be experimenting quite a bit about
Yeah.
how to draw them in and how to draw them out, you know, kind of thing.
I was
Probably would be playing with that aspect quite a bit
I
because that
was
was the
just
most
thinking the
interesting.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the family that you follow, I think they have protection. They have a like a whole thing about having to protect each other and surviving.
Yeah.
I think surviving and then also trying to experiment and also write like I think 10 years into the collapse of the human race, I think someone's going to come across my cabin and find my journal and find it very useful.
Yeah. Well, Paul, I'm going to give this as one possible way to survive a quiet place long term.
Okay.
If you can dig very patiently and very quietly, because imagine what you want to do is dig a nice big deep trench filled with very much things that the creatures, I guess we're going to call
Yeah.
them, the creatures are not going to enjoy. You know, spikes, flame, fire, whatever. You know, acid. If you have enough time to build yourself your compound, surround it with this essentially this chasm, and then cover it, and then make a whole lot of noise, and as a wave of these things come at you, as long as you've made it less than their jumping ability, you're like, hey, here we go, guys. That's it. You know, we've killed the first wave. Then you head off, get yourself some more supplies, come back. Next time you make a noise, you've got that first line of defense. But digging something like that could take 40 years because you're doing
Yeah.
it so quietly with thimbles.
Yeah, that's actually that's an interesting aspect of the whole thing. Anything you'd have to do would
Yep.
take so much longer because of the carefulness, like
Yep.
the care that you'll need to take to do it. So, would you think that? Would you think that build? Because I've built a theremin for college. Like, would you automatically kind of go, well, these things are
Auditory
sensitive to
weapons.
sound.
Yeah,
Would
yeah.
you start making auto weapon like audio kind of
Instantly.
things?
Instantly. Anything that's got is so based on sound, both you and me would look at each other. You know, having never seen that movie, if you asked us as a couple of movie nerds and a couple of nerds, first thing we do is, so what do we know about these things? They're sensitive to sound. That's how they come get you. Great. First thing we're doing is going after their ears. We would
Yeah.
be noise cancelling headphones up the wazoo with, you know, all sorts of unbelievable sonic annoyances happening everywhere just to keep them confused. Never mind then the like a theremin's a great one. I would love to do Death by Marty McFly's first opening
Oh
scene,
yeah.
you know? Little guitar, big pick, massive amp, all the way up to 11. Yeah, no, Paul, I like there's a chance we would take a lot of them out, but I think the idea of surviving a world like that and not being able to safely build, it's a tough one. Time to ask our viewers at home, everybody out there, do you think, so you can tell us if you think we'd survive with everything we've said. Do you think we're industrious enough? Question really is though, would you survive a quiet place?
Be
Let us know in
honest.
the comments down below. Yeses and nos with any detail you care to share.
Be honest with us. You know, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell.
And then don't forget to join us next time when we might even be doing another Would You Survive? But you know what? You won't survive. You won't survive very long without us entertaining you. So do come back. There'll be another video in 7 days' time. All right. Take care, everybody. I've been Patrick.
I've been Paul.
We've been here aside. Stay quiet and classy, everybody. Bye-bye.